One of my main priorities from my Florida trip earlier this year was to revisit Busch Gardens, Tampa. The last time I was at this theme park was in 2005. Much has changed to the park, but also my memory of the roller coasters were starting to fade, making it tough to rank their allegedly great attractions like Kumba, Shikra, and Montu. I think the one coaster that I was most excited to revisit was Montu, mostly because of all the praise it's been getting in the coaster community. Well, a spoiler alert, if you've watched my most recent video, I've discussed my top 10 favorite inverted roller coasters, and who would you guess made an appearance on that list? Before I jump into the meat of this review, let's talk stats. The ride stands 150 feet with a 128 feet first drop. Max speed is 60 miles per hour. There is 3,983 feet of track featuring 7 inversions. Presentation. Busch Gardens is a theme park that focuses on the atmosphere more than the actual theme of each attraction. Case in point for Montu, the setting for this attraction is well placed, using trenches to dive into. The Egyptian theming is present, but not overbearing or telling any particular story. For those who like story-driven attractions may feel let down, but that's never really been the focus of Busch Gardens. The station is decently themed, but again not overbearing, just like the right amount to pull you in. The dark blue track and tan supports work nicely, creating a nice clash between the sandy terrain and bright blue sky. All in all, a score of 9 for presentation seems on point. Ride intensity. As inverted coasters go, Montu ranks up there as one of the most intense. Starting off with a traditional twisted dive, Montu wastes no time getting you into the action. The first inversion, a giant vertical loop, delivers a nice punch of positive forces. As the blood starts rushing into your legs, Montu starts to climb into the sky for your second inversion, an Immelman. In quick succession, the coaster enters its third inversion, a snappy zero-G roll. This is my favorite inversion of the ride, producing nice laterals and weightlessness. The next inversion is where the positives kick into full gear, the Batwing. This is a double inversion, and Montu was the first inverted roller coaster to utilize this element. After a quick breather on the mid-course brake run, Montu dives right back into the trenches, sending you upside down with another vertical loop. After a couple quick turns, Montu enters its final inversion, a corkscrew. This is my second favorite moment of the ride. I love these fast-paced elements whipping you upside down at breakneck speeds. After the corkscrew, the ride slams into the brake run. So, to calculate our ride intensity score, I first need to talk about Afterburn, which is an inverted roller coaster located at Carowinds. I would argue that Afterburn is the most intense invert on the planet, with Montu riding close on its heels. With that said, Afterburn would get a score of 10, which would mean that Montu should be ranked a touch lower, bringing my ride intensity score to 9.5. I know that some will disagree with me on this point, but Afterburn is just a tad more intense, so I know that the bar can be pushed a little bit further, meaning Montu can't get that perfect intensity rating. Fun factor. I think in the mid-90s, B&M was willing to take some risks with their looping roller coasters. Overall, their inversions were more snappy with tighter inversions and compact layouts. Now, I feel that their modern designs are a little bit more drawn out, extending the G-forces but decreasing the overall intensity. Montu is a powerhouse of a ride from drop to break, only taking a quick breather on the MCBR. Every inversion on Montu is exciting, never letting up on the intensity. Usually after the mid-course, a roller coaster will lose some serious momentum, making all the elements after that point a little less exciting. Thankfully, Montu doesn't have that problem. Honestly, this is probably because of the trenches. Flying through the tight spaces will always make you feel traveling faster than you actually are, but regardless, these two final inversions, the vertical loop and corkscrew, are snappy and forceful inversions. Combining the intense inversions with the terrain interaction makes Montu one of the best inverts on the planet. This is an entertaining roller coaster that must be experienced multiple times. I recommend a ride up front to soak in all the near-miss elements, then head to the back of the train to feel the whip as this roller coaster drags you through the elements. Montu earns a perfect 10 score in the fun factor. Originality. I feel like Montu is a combination of Raptor at Cedar Point and Nemesis from Alton Towers, taking the crazy terrain interactions of Nemesis and snappy forceful elements of Raptor and morphing it into one great invert. The first three elements are more or less typical of a B&M invert, but not for its time. The Immelman and Batwing are the first of its kind on an inverted roller coaster. Now, these aren't original inversions overall. The Batwing had been around for some time, but the Immelman was introduced on Kumba, the other looping B&M roller coaster at Busch Gardens. I feel the use of these two inversions will make Montu earn higher marks, but there's still a lot going on that's typical of any inverted roller coaster. The twisted first drop followed by a vertical loop, and as much as I love a good zero-G roll, it wasn't original as every inverted roller coaster by B&M will feature this element. Originality earns a score of 8. Ride smoothness. When a roller coaster is still butter smooth after 25 years, you know it's going to earn a perfect 10 score. I was very impressed how this ride handles. No rattle or bumps, just glossy smooth track. Montu gets another 10 rating, this time in ride smoothness. Okay, the final score comes to 9.3, which is up there as one of my higher scored attractions. Montu has a lot of good things going for it. Forceful elements, snappy inversions, exciting near misses. It basically delivers everything that you want in an inverted roller coaster. As you know already, assuming you watch my videos, Montu is ranked as my number one invert, so to no surprise, it'll earn a perfect 10 personal rating. I really don't think inverted roller coasters can get any better than this in the US. To find better inverts, I'm hedging my bets with Nemesis. Even if it's shorter or less intense, I mean that theming is enough to make up from any of its shortcomings. Anyways, we're not talking Nemesis, but Montu. I'm so glad that I got another ride on this attraction earlier this year. It's great to re-ride a roller coaster that I felt was forgettable 16 years ago. Man, I do sound old. Well, that wraps up today's review. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and click that like button. As always, please subscribe if you haven't already. That way you won't miss out on any future content coming your way by XscreamThrills.